What if I told you that narcissists never cared and will never care about you or other people? It sounds harsh, but when you peel back the layers, their actions always point to one truth. Their feelings and needs come first. Always. Today, we'll talk about the 10 proofs that narcissists never care, so you can see the signs clearly and protect yourself from their empty words and false promises. Are you ready for number 1? Narcissists mimic empathy but never feel it. Narcissists are masters of fake empathy. They know exactly what to say and how to act when it makes them look good or helps them get what they want. But here's the truth. They're not actually feeling what they're showing. When they comfort you or act like they understand, it's not coming from the heart. It's just part of their performance. Real empathy is about you, but with a narcissist, it's always about them. So, if their kindness disappears the moment no one's watching, or when they have nothing to gain, that's proof that they never really cared. You deserve people who show genuine care, not actors playing a part. Don't settle for anything less than real connection. Let's talk about number 2. Narcissists only apologize to avoid consequences. Have you ever noticed how the narcissist only says sorry when they're about to lose something? When you're dealing with a narcissist, their apologies usually aren't real. They're more like quick fixes to keep control. You might feel confused because they suddenly seem remorseful. But deep down, you can tell something's off. The truth is, they're not saying sorry because they care about how they hurt you. They're doing it to dodge the consequences, like you leaving, exposing them, or pulling back your attention. It's not about your feelings, but about keeping their image intact or avoiding discomfort. Once things settle down, they often go right back to the same behavior, showing that the apology wasn't from the heart. Let's move on to number 3. Narcissists go radio silent during your crisis. Narcissists tend to disappear right when you need them the most. You could be going through something really tough, like losing your job, dealing with a sick loved one, or barely holding yourself together, and suddenly they vanish. No check-ins, no support, just silence. It hurts, doesn't it? But here's the hard truth. Narcissists don't do well when the spotlight isn't on them. Your pain makes them uncomfortable because it means they can't be the main focus. To them, your crisis is just background noise, something they'd rather skip. And that silence is proof they never really cared, at least not in the way you deserve. Now, let's continue to number 4. Narcissists are never genuinely happy for you. Have you ever shared good news with the narcissist and felt worse afterward? You finally get that promotion, reach a big goal, or just feel proud of yourself. However, their reaction is weirdly cold or fake. Maybe they say the right words, like, "Wow, that's great," but it feels empty, almost forced. Deep down, you sense they're not genuinely happy for you. That's because your success can feel like a threat to them. And if they do act excited, it's usually because it makes them look good, not because they truly care. Your joy only matters to them if they can use it for their own image. You shouldn't miss number 5. Narcissists gaslight your emotions as overreactions. Suppose you try to explain how hurt you feel, or how something the narcissist did really got to you. However, instead of listening, they flip it back on you. Suddenly, you're the problem. They say you're overreacting, imagining things, or being dramatic. And after hearing that enough, you start to question your own feelings. That's gaslighting. It's not that your emotions are too much. Narcissists just don't want to deal with them. They don't care enough to truly understand or validate what you're feeling. So, instead, they make you doubt yourself because it's easier for them to ignore your pain than take responsibility for causing it. Are you still up for number 6? Narcissists lovebomb you, then ghost. Do you remember how amazing it felt in the beginning, like you were in a dream? The narcissist came on strong, didn't they? They showered you with all the compliments, the constant texts, the sweet words that made you feel like the most important person in the world. That's love bombing. But then, just as quickly as it started, it all stopped. The messages slowed down, the affection faded, and you were left wondering what you did wrong. The truth is, you didn't do anything wrong. Narcissists crave the thrill of winning someone over, but once they feel they've got you, the excitement fades. You weren't a person to them. You were a fix, a momentary boost to their ego. And when that high wore off, they ghosted, showing they never cared about building something real. Let's keep it moving to number 7. Narcissists pretend to forget the things that matter to you. Isn't it strange how the narcissist always forgets what matters to you, but never what benefits them? You told them about your birthday, that important interview, or a painful memory you trusted them with. But somehow they just forgot. No text, no support, no acknowledgement. It stings, doesn't it? Deep down, you know it's not about forgetfulness, but about the effort. Remembering those things would mean caring enough to be emotionally present. And narcissists just don't go there unless there's something in it for them. But funny how they never forget a compliment you gave them, or a moment where they looked good. That's not memory. That's priority. And sadly, your heart wasn't one of theirs. Here comes number 8. Narcissists mock or minimize your dreams. Have you ever shared a dream with the narcissist and walked away feeling stupid for even having it? You finally built up the courage to talk about going back to school, starting that business, or chasing something that lights you up. However, instead of cheering you on, they laugh, roll their eyes, or say something like, "That's cute." It's painful because you wanted support, not sarcasm. But here's the thing. Narcissists don't want you to grow. Your dreams threaten their control. If you become confident and independent, they lose their grip. So, they minimize your goals to keep you small, unsure, and easier to manipulate. It's not about your dreams being silly, but about them feeling insecure when you shine. Moving on to number 9. Narcissists break promises without guilt. The narcissist might promise you amazing things, a trip together, real changes, or emotional growth. However, when it comes time to deliver, it's like those promises never even happened. They forget them as quickly as a Snapchat disappears. And when you remind them, suddenly you are the problem, the one who's too negative or too demanding. The truth is, following through takes effort and, more importantly, caring. Narcissists just don't have that in them for you. They throw around promises like empty words because it's easier than actually showing up and being genuine. Finally, we're down to number 10. Narcissists dismiss your boundaries as drama. Suppose you tell the narcissist what you need: a little space, respect, or a no. However, instead of understanding, they act like you're overreacting or being dramatic. It's frustrating, right? But narcissists don't see boundaries as healthy or normal. They see them as threats to their control. To them, your limits are like challenges to their power, and they can't stand that. But here's the truth you need to hear. You deserve to set boundaries, and they don't get to decide how you feel or what you need. Their drama accusation is just a way to avoid respecting you, and you don't have to put up with that. Now that you know the truth that narcissists don't really care, it's easier to stop blaming yourself for their hurtful behavior. You deserve people who see you, support you, and respect your feelings. Remember, protecting your heart means choosing those who truly care, not the ones who only pretend. It's okay to walk away from those who make you feel sore or confused. Healing starts when you stop trying to fix what was never really broken by you. Trust yourself. You're stronger than you think, and better things and people are waiting for you.